Hi, William Sheriff, Executive Chairman of enCore Energy.
Mr. Sheriff, good to see you.
Good to see you, Matt.
Yeah, enjoying it. Enjoying the weather. It's -9, but it is sunny.
Brisk.
Life is good. Right, we're here at PDAC. We're talking all things uranium today, and you're here with your enCore hat on to tell us something.
Yes,
What are you going to tell me?
transitioning. I'm moving from enCore Energy Executive Chairman.
Right.
Of course, I founded the company and with the help of a lot of great colleagues along the way, built it into a producer.
Right.
And not really my forte as a producer. I'm not particularly helpful in that role.
Right.
I tend to build things rather than produce, so I'm stepping aside to being a
Okay.
senior advisor in charge of the things I do best, which are M&A advisory, corporate finance, corporate development,
Okay.
and passing the torch, if you will. And at the same time, you know, I will have the title of Chairman Emeritus, although it does feel a bit old, but you know, not in the college sense, shall we say. But I think it's a good thing for everyone. It'll focus my time there on the needs that I'm especially good at, and leave the day-to-day production aspects to those that are especially good at that. We've made remarkable progress, and look forward to continuing. And of course, I'll still remain the largest individual shareholder involved with the company. Obviously, we have funds that are bigger shareholders, but in terms of the enCore immediate family, I'm still by far and away the largest shareholder, and you know, we'll look to increase that with my involvement.
So is this farewell? Is this goodbye?
Oh,
or
no,
is this
it's
genuine, one of those sort of soft shoe shuffle things that companies do?
More of a lateral
Will you be
move.
there for them?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this is a lateral move.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I won't have as many day-to-day responsibilities, but the ones I do have will be in the areas that I can add some real value, as opposed to
money and markets. I'm guessing.
Money and markets. You know, I mean, that's what I've done in the past. Is you know, building the second company, and obviously not by myself. I've had a tremendous amount of help with people, but you know, it was my baby. It still is. I founded it. Have a great deal of faith in its future, and I think I contribute best in this role. So
he's stepping in. Obviously, we've seen a board addition recently, but have you got a successor for the specific position?
No, I'm sure they'll be opening a search for that at some point. But the board is strong. We've got 6 members on it currently. 2 of those with vast uranium experience, and you know, one with the nuclear energy experience, being a nuclear engineer. Finance, our audit chair has been with the company, a series of companies that I've been involved with for, you know, going on 20 years now.
Right.
So, you know, being listed in the U.S. NASDAQ, and you know, being a U.S. reporting issuer, actually, you know, we've really done the lifting and the building part. So it's truly time to pass that on. So, I think they'll be, and not in a big hurry to fill the hole. Quite frankly, I think they'll be conducting a, you know, very systematic approach in terms of trying to find the person that fits best in the role.
Okay, and for enCore shareholders, it's business as usual.
Oh, I think so. I think actually they may see a definite bonus in this, and that of course they'll all become shareholders, at least have the opportunity to become shareholders in Verde Energy, which is a sister company.
Let's talk about that. What are you going to do in your spare time then?
Well, I don't have any spare time, Matt. Spare time leads to mischief, you know.
Right.
But as I said, I like to fancy myself as a builder of companies, especially in the uranium sector. So I'll be moving over as Verdera's executive chair.
Okay, so there's the big news. Okay, that's good news for enCore shareholders and Verdera.
I think it's a win-win for everybody, because obviously enCore's you know, the biggest shareholder of Verdera. enCore shareholders will benefit once the registration statement's filed in the U.S. Because here again, enCore's a U.S. reporting issuer. Once that registration statement's filed, then as of a record date, all of the enCore shareholders will receive a spinoff in the form of stock in Verdera. So really it's putting me where I'm best utilized for the shareholders' interest all across the board. So I wouldn't think there'd be a single enCore shareholder upset with the news. In fact, I would think there'd be a very positive endorsement of the move.
Okay, well, for those folk, whether they be enCore shareholders or others who've not actually heard the Verdera bit of the news, let's remind them about the assets that are sitting within Verdera, because I was speaking with Janet the other day. It's quite the portfolio, quite the advanced portfolio as well. So to do what you do best, How do you get after it?
It is. I mean, there's 80-some million pounds of resources there in 4 large deposits and a whole host of mineral rights scattered across New Mexico. I think it's something on the order of 400 square miles, and of all private mineral rights, which is a big plus when you go into permitting. But there are some unique challenges there. Most of them involve permitting, community relations, indigenous. There also needs to be a dedicated effort in multiple areas in terms of bringing some of those projects on. I mean, there's some that are probably quite amenable to stope leaching, which is a much shorter permitting path than conventional ISR. There's an enormous opportunity there in terms of the data, and as you know, I'm a bit of a data fanatic. I've been collecting every scrap of it I've been able to lay my hands on for the last, 40 years. That's quite some time, but I think they still used paper back then. But in any event, with 13 different companies of data and almost all of the companies that have worked in New Mexico to any significant degree, 90+% of that data, which is all proprietary in the states again. And having that large array of property, we have over 50% of the 7th largest uranium district in the world under control.
Right.
In that we've got all of that right in the Grants Mineral Belt. And so tying that data in with some of these projects that maybe the big companies only move them a certain degree, maybe they've only got a few million pounds or maybe even a few discovery holes. Going back through that data painstakingly, putting it together, assembling the geologic team to do that, and bring forth some real value out of it. Then ultimately, when it comes time for production, at enCore, we're certainly hopeful that Verdera comes back and provides that opportunity for additional projects for their pipeline. It's already a very robust pipeline.
So that's the relationship. Obviously, Verdera have also, we're not just recently listed, but they've also just raised $20 million. So you can get after that data properly. Can you sort of lay out what the year looks like in terms of that aspect of the business?
Well, here again, it's a rather recent, almost immediate transition, and I'm certainly aware of Verdera, having worked at it from the enCore side. But there's a number of projects in there. Almost all the resources are historic. So one of the first things we'll be doing is get after some 43-101s. In addition, by bringing these through modern modeling, almost all of them had grade cutoffs of 0.6, which is considerably higher than grade cutoffs being used now, more typically 0.2, 0.25, 0.3. Yeah. And so when you remodel it with that lower cutoff, you're going to get an expansion. Now, has that expanded area or potential area been drilled yet? I don't know. We haven't looked at it.
Yeah.
But certainly there's a good case for upside there.
Okay.
Still, the big challenge in the company will be the permitting.
Right.
But with that, the growth, you're also seeing a lot of changes in New Mexico in terms of their focus on nuclear this and nuclear that, pretty much nuclear everything. And with that, we hope there'll be a growing acceptance of the uranium industry.
Well, I think it's answering the energy call from the federal government, isn't it?
Absolutely, and of course they're pushing on all fronts. And the truth of the matter is there is a legacy in New Mexico of what the open pit mining did in the Cold War, and it was not a pretty one. And the industry's got to be step up and take some responsibility for that. But quite frankly, uranium mining now, in terms of in situ, is not. It's not your predecessor's uranium. I mean, it's as different as day and night.
Right.
And being so environmentally friendly and so, short timeline, short cost to reclaim them.
Right.
It's really a completely different chapter and new ball game there.
Well, it's a new chapter for you as well, in the sense of you're kind of bringing back to where you began in a way, what you enjoy.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I like creating things. I like building things. I like creating opportunity and wealth, and it's a different
excited about
than
Verdera?
Actually producing. I am, and I'm still very excited about some of the growth aspects at enCore. I mean, I think there's still some. We've spoken before about the need for consolidation in the industry. Here we have 2 separate companies, but they're both standalone, quite healthy, and a good reason for them to be so. But in terms of the ISR business, you're going to have some producers that produce more than a million pounds a year, or you're going to be essentially running a mom and pop grocery store on the corner. I mean, you've got to get some size for a number of reasons. I mean, your credit ratings go up, so your cost of capital goes down. Your ability to deal on more favorable terms with your customers, that be at the nuclear utilities, that's going to increase as a larger scale company. And perhaps the most important to shareholders in terms of immediate benefit is to get the really big companies, the really big funds like Citadel, investing in your company, you need to be several billion market cap, and you're not going to do that with 1 million pounds a year production. So there's a whole series of these smaller companies that need to start really looking heavily at M&A, and so that's part of what I'll still be doing for enCore.
So you make a really good point there in terms of the corporate structure and how you manage to operate in markets. You know, there are lots of, let's say, small US players hoping to produce 500,000 pounds here, maybe even 1 million pounds, if they know how to get there and execute on the build process. That's not going to answer.
A lot of ifs there. But
a lot of ifs, but you know, I've heard a lot of it, unfortunately, for the last 3 years, ifs and buts and pots and pans, I think the phrase is. Yeah. Where unless that scale and consolidation comes, and it's very difficult sometimes when money's around for those companies can survive a little bit longer, but without the actual hope of actually being a meaningful producer. So for you, you're starting from a much larger position with this kind of huge consolidation package, but also the pounds, the historic pounds, they're available to you. So do you feel that you've kind of got a bit of a head start there with Verdera in a way?
Well, I think certainly Verdera is not starting at ground zero. You know, as part of enCore and built up through enCore, it's got a very healthy resource package, but nothing's been done with it in years.
Yep.
And that's primarily due to the focus on Texas and Wyoming for very good and very logical reasons, but there's still a huge storehouse of value there. So, I mean, that's why we elected and voted at the board, and you know, the majority of the members voted for it.
Yeah.
I don't think I did at the time, but it's an incredibly good opportunity, and it really gives the investors of enCore a double-edged sword to move forward on. But I think enCore, you know, I've talked to you before, is we see ourselves as a consolidator, and I think that's going to remain the case. I think you know, historically these junior or typically Canadian companies tend to negotiate mergers, and many of the times the shareholders are never even given the opportunity to opine on it. And I think you're going to see a different track taken. That takes too long. As you mentioned, some of these guys can keep funding themselves, so they may not want to be gobbled up. They may like their job, their position. And I think you're going to start seeing more tender offers. Truth of the matter is there are very few new things in the uranium deposits in terms of geologic in the US over the last 40 years. And with having the data set and data access that enCore has, outside of the financial records of the company, and I'm not discounting how important that is, but outside of that, you don't really need to sign exclusivity agreements to figure out what the other companies, quote, got. Sure, you're not going to get a full picture of it, but you're going to get enough to know if you're interested or not. And I think you're going to see, I think last time we talked, I may have predicted, and if not, I'll say it for the first time, and if so, I'll reinforce it. I think you're going to see some tender offers made, where you very politely inform the other party that, hey, you know, it's Friday afternoon, Monday we're going to be sending you a letter that proposes to do this, and there'll be a tender offer form, and you know, published across various media forms so that the shareholders themselves will actually be able to opine on it. Because it's really not fair to the shareholders to not know when there's a potential merger, and it should be their decision. They're the owners of the company.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be interesting times this year across the uranium junior space for sure. But it's nice to be talking to someone who's not reading a handbook about it, but perhaps even contributed to writing it. So, Phil,
thanks, Matt.
You better get over there and shake a few more hands. Busy day.
All right.
And I'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Yeah, uranium night. It'll be fun.
Always.
Yeah, right. Take care.